Hello, everyone, and welcome to North 100, a Canadian Highlander podcast. I'm Serge. Joining me, as always, I have Jer, Alex, and Liam. This episode is brought to you by your support over the Patreon at patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun. Thank you so much. We literally could not do this without you. Let's start off with the opening segment. We always do the best card that you're not playing. And up today, we have Alex. Alex, tell me your secrets.
I brought a physical copy this time.
Oh, man. Okay.
The best card you're not playing that I'm playing is Collar of the Claw.
This card's hot.
This card is some hotness. So,
it's an elf?
Oh, it is an elf!
It's not a bear?
No.
It's an elf in a bear suit. You can see the ears.
See?
Huh.
All right, what is the color of the claw?
I should explain what this does. Okay, 2 and a green gets you a 2/2 with flash.
So Grey Ogre.
Sounds okay.
It's a Grey Ogre with flash. When it enters the battlefield, you make a 2/2 green bear token for each non-token creature that died this turn.
So hold on.
Duh, bears.
Bear, 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 bear.
Bear, 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 bear! So, this is like an anti-wrath card. So if you get 2 or even 3 for 1, or even just like 1 for 1, like I think you're pretty happy to cast this just if one of your non-token creatures dies. You're like, okay, flash this in, make 4 power for 3 with flash.
Non-token, keyword there.
That one's important. This card would be insane if it counted tokens.
Yeah, if there's like aristocrat.
Yeah, I play this in aristocrats. I've played it in black mold.
Yeah.
Just because it adds to the sort of resilience of the deck. It's a surprise creature. Like, even the very worst case scenario, playing a 2/2 with flash at the end of your opponent's turn and just untapping and attacking with it, it's almost like it has haste.
Jer, is Hoof still playing Color of the Claw? I knew it was there in some previous versions.
Not typically anymore.
Okay.
If you are seeing a lot of wraths, I think it's perfectly reasonable to play. Okay. But typically the hoof decks are just trying to be all in on combo, and Collar of the Claw doesn't really help with that angle.
This bear token is so good.
It's so good.
It's better at rebuilding as opposed to proactive.
The last thing a poacher in the Croson Forest
and it's trying to beat wraths more with just like planeswalkers than and being able to pump stuff, rebuild that way, as opposed to just having a card that is only situationally great.
Yeah,
sure.
I think this card's sweet.
Nice.
You should play it. It's also like not an expensive single.
It's a spicy card.
Yeah. Especially if people are playing lots of like pyroclasm effects in your meta. It's definitely a great one.
Spicy.
Have you seen the bear token from Onslaught?
Maybe?
No.
Tell me more.
Oh, no, I have seen this one. It's so ugly.
That is a really ugly bear. What happened to its face?
It's onslaughting
something.
It's onslaughting.
That's really gross.
No, you made a good choice with your bear token, Alex.
Yeah.
I agree. But like, ugh.
Yeah, not all bear tokens created equally.
Yep.
All right, let us move on to today's segment. And this is kind of exciting because up today, Liam has prepared a spicy surprise for us.
Yes, please step into my office.
Okay.
So today we're playing a game. Jared came up with the title, I'll be honest. You might have heard of Let's Make a Deal. Well, this is Let's Make a Deck.
Okay.
So a little game show segment, much like Whose Line Is It Anyway? There might be points. They probably don't matter. Who knows? There could be a prize in it, but probably not.
Okay.
So here's how the game works. Very simple. I have on my phone in front of me some lists of 3 cards. I'm going to give you all 3 cards. I'm then going to explain the cards to the audience. You will all then have basically the amount of time it takes me to explain the cards to come up with a basic idea for a deck. This obviously doesn't have to be 100 cards or anything like that. It's like what colors you would play, what the general idea of the deck is, and maybe 5 to 10 other cards you would play with it.
So to clarify, it has to be a Highlander deck, but we don't have to give you a 100-card deck list.
Correct.
Just the theme and some speaking notes?
And some speaking notes.
Okay.
That's exactly right. These lists of cards that I have are pretty general and wide open. And one thing we're going to try to do is have no overlap. So if someone steals your idea, tough luck. You got to come up with a new idea while they're talking. If someone does steal your idea and they don't necessarily fully explain the kind of aspect that you really liked about it, feel free to chime in about that too. But yeah.
You're like, no, I've got a better version of your list. And to clarify, we didn't know this going in. We don't know any of the lists. We have not been given any of the information. So it's going to be challenging our brewers' instincts here.
I'm hoping you know all the cards. I think I managed to pick.
I sure hope so.
My track record, unlikely.
No. Like,
Jared's probably fine.
Serge, I think you're going to know most of these cards at least.
Just bodes ill.
Because I didn't want to force you guys in one direction too strongly.
So who's up first here?
We'll start from left to right. So Jared's going to go first on this first one, and then so it'll go Jared, Serge, Alex, then Serge, Alex, Jared, then Alex, Jared, Serge. Repeat ad nauseum until we run out of time. All right.
Jared's in the hot seat.
Alex, I have a question for you.
What's that?
Pick a number between 1 and 15.
2.
Great.
Always 2.
Thanks very much. All right, so the first set of cards is Trinisphere, City of Traders, and Ancient Tomb.
This is my jam.
Well, that's lucky for you. So Trinisphere, for all of you at home, it's a 3-mana artifact. It costs 3, and as long as Trinisphere is untapped, actually relevant text, each spell that you would cast, each spell that would cost less than 3 mana to play costs 3 mana to play. So there's a bunch of rules questions about this card. We'll deal with those as they come up, but basically the idea is everything costs 3 with Trinisphere. Next card, City of Traders. This is a land that says when you play another land, sacrifice City of Traders. And this taps to add 2 colorless mana, or 2 generic mana to your mana pool. Fun fact, there are test foils of this card. They're worth more money than my car. And then the last card on this list is Ancient Tomb. Ancient Tomb is another land that taps to add 2 colorless mana, and it also deals 2 damage to you when you do that. All right, Jared, you're up. You're first.
Sweet.
What do you got for me?
My go-to list with these 3 cards in it is Big Red. So this is a deck that plays lots of fast mana. So you're going to play cards like the points in this deck. Already got a point spread ready. You got Soul Ring, Moxed Ruby, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, and you don't need a 9th point. Just not necessary. And you're playing cards like all the big dragons. You're playing Wildfires. You want to play as many of the artifact fast mana as possible because it really works well with Wildfires. And you want to play a bunch of the like best stacks effects. You're not playing all of them, but you're playing cards like Trinisphere, Lodestone Golem. Sometimes you want to play things like Sphere of Resistance just to try to hedge against combo a bit. Stranglehold, my personal favorite.
What does Stranglehold do?
So Stranglehold's 3 in a red for an enchantment. It reads, your opponents cannot search libraries or take extra turns.
The take extra turns part is like shockingly relevant, I bet. Comes up occasionally.
Yeah.
Sweet. All right, Serge, you're up.
I got something even spicier than Big Red. It's Big White.
My nemesis.
Yeah. So in this deck, you're playing a similar point spread. So you got Sol Ring, Mana Crypt, Mana Vault, but you're also playing Strip Mine and Crucible. Your threats and your win cons are 6 drops like Sun Titan, so you can recur all the artifacts you're blowing up. You're playing Ravages of War, you're playing Armageddon. You're going for a lockout strategy of mana denial on your opponent's side, while ramping your own threats through Mana Rocks and your Acceleration, and just going right past your Trinisphere. So Big White is where it's at.
All right, I have a question about Big White, Serge.
Yeah, go ahead.
What's the biggest, idiotest white creature we're killing people with in this deck?
Alishnorn.
That's not that idioty at
Holy
all.
moly.
That's a great card, exactly. It's 7 mana.
Right.
And it ends games.
You forgot to specify bad card.
Yeah, all right, fair enough.
I mean,
Like-
yeah, you have this in Sun Titan, then you have like 6 mana Elspeth, 4 mana Elspeth, 5 mana Gideon. Actually, all the Gideons. You're just going like 12 Chads.
I think we can only play 6.
You're probably
right?
not playing Kithian, but yeah.
I was-
Like-
that one's
Slide
not
him.
great with Trinisphere.
Yeah, you have access to basically like 8 Wrath of God effects too. So you don't have to go for the cheaper removal, you just go for the hard removal. Wrath of God, Day of Judgment. You can even play Terminus to deal with those pesky True Name Nemesis.
Nemesi.
What's the 6 mana one from New Phyrexia? Life's Finale?
There you
Are
go.
Playing that one?
Love it. No, probably not.
Can I interest you in Angel of
Oh, no, that's the
Admonition?
black one.
Which one's Angel of
Phyrexian
Admonition?
Rebirth, is that the one I'm
Phyrexian
thinking of?
Rebirth is hotness, but I think that's actually like a weird enchantment as opposed to a Wrath. Oh wait, no, it's
No,
Phyrexian
Phyrexian
Rebirth the one that
Rebirth's the one
kills
that
it, you get
kills it.
creature. Yeah, okay.
Can we get Angel of Admonition up on the screen here?
Angel of Admonition.
I
Oh wait, are we playing Chancellor of the Annex? Doesn't matter. All right, what's this angel?
I mean, you totally can play this. It's your deck, not mine. Maybe I've named an unexistent card.
6 mana, white, flying angel with landfall. It's a 6/6. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, you may exile target non-land permanent other than the angel. When the angel leaves the battlefield, oh, that's kind of spicy. Yeah, you
this
get
is
it all
the-
back.
This is the Chris Island mono white, big white special.
It is Admonition Angel.
Oh, my
rather
bad.
than Angel of Admonition. Just in case someone's looking for it.
All right.
My bad. All right, great. Well done, Serge. Alex?
So I was gonna say Eldrazi,
Right.
and then I was gonna say Juggernauts,
Right.
but I think I want to say the words mono brown mid range, which I don't
see.
even know if it is mid range.
Welcome
but
to Browntown.
Sound the horns
Browntown.
at a very specific frequency.
Like what's in my mind's eye is a deck that plays like Powder Keg
Holy crap.
and Ratchet Bomb. I guess you could play Engineered Explosives, Nevinyrral's Disc, Oblivion Stone.
How many colors do you pump into this explosives?
It's
That
5
one-
color brown.
I guess maybe you leave out explosives because you don't generate color mana. But you get like Crystal Vein in here. The point spread is probably similar to Jer's, but like you don't need red mocks. Just like all the artifact lands, it's like you want like Sol Ring, Mana Crypt, probably Mana Vault. I don't know how many points that is total.
Yeah, like 6 or 7 there. I don't know. It's complicated.
That's
You're at
6.
6 so far.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
you could
4
get like
more
a
points.
strip and a GT in or something?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know if you want GT because you're probably not playing too many creatures.
I don't
Like
know.
you
It's how
maybe
you're
get some
winning.
Juggernauts in anyway.
Are
Or
you
maybe
kill-
you're probably killing them with like Walking Ballista or like Hangerback Walker, stuff like that, or like Steel Hellkite. That's a pretty spicy one.
That's spicy.
Yes. Yes, it is.
Or actually, you could maybe like you could bring back what's that 6-drop that like pings and draws cards?
Endbringer?
That's an Eldrazi.
That's an Eldrazi.
Do you mean Staff of Nin?
Staff of Nin? Bring that back.
That card's spicy. I'm the
Yeah,
Staff of Nin.
or maybe you just stacks them out and Staff of Nin them to death.
Yeah.
20 points of Staff of
Nah,
Nin
it's-
damage, eh?
well, you play Voltaic.
I purposely didn't say like prison because I thought Serge was going to say prison.
I
No,
thought
no.
I was
That would have been the tactical
I
play.
know. I knew you were both going to go that way, and I was like, no. First thing in my head, I was actually worried you were going to take Big White from me, and then what was I going to do?
I didn't
I,
wanna-
I was going to pick Big White. Need not worry, my friend.
Anyone have any other thoughts about these decks?
Powerful start.
All right, great. I'm going to award a point this time. Serge, Big White, you knew you were getting a point
Point
as
to the
soon as you
judge.
said it. As a result, Serge, pick a number between 1 and 15 that isn't 2.
7.
All right, this one's a good one.
Okay.
Gifts Ungiven,
Oh jeez.
Ponder, Brainstorm.
Love it.
I'll fully admit Ponder and Brainstorm are filler cards here.
Yep.
I was
Yep.
just going to give this as the single card Gifts Ungiven.
Yep.
So Gifts Ungiven for everyone home is a 3 and a blue instant that says search your library for up to 4 cards with different names and reveal them. Target opponent chooses 2 of those cards. Put the chosen cards into your graveyard and the rest into your hand, then shuffle your library. Ponder is a single blue sorcery that says look at the top 3 cards of your library, then put them back in any order. You may shuffle your library, then draw a card. And then Brainstorm, most of you are going to know these last 2, but Brainstorm is a single blue instant that says draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand on top of your library in any order.
Yep.
Best sorcery ever printed.
Yep.
All right, everyone had enough time, or do I
I'm
need
ready.
to?
Oh,
All
I'm
right,
ready.
Great,
I'm so
great.
ready.
Serge, you're up. What's up?
Bug Turboland.
All right.
Yeah, so your points spread in this are Gifts, Intuition, Fast Bond, Strip Mine.
Right. I'm noticing a theme here.
Yeah, and then probably if you have some extra points, we're also putting Dig Through Time and Treasure Cruise.
8 so far. It's got an extra 2.
You know what? We maybe cut one of those and put a Demonic Tutor. And the reason we're playing Intuition as well as Gifts Ungiven is the ability in a Turboland deck to utilize your graveyard as another resource. So you can put together packages like Dark Depths, Thespian Stage, Life from the Loam, Crucible of Worlds. Or Academy Runes, Life from the Loam, Crucible of Worlds. You can put these packages together where no matter what cards you get, you can set up the win. You can also put together Regrowth, whatever the green-black Regrowth is,
Treasured find.
Treasured Find, and one of the payloads you want if you're looking for Fast Bond, the ability to use both your graveyard and your hand in that sort of shell to put together unfun combos that win on the spot. That's my jam. And the
Unfun.
blue with the Ponder and the Preordain is great to filter out your draws, as well as fill up your graveyard when you finally get to those Delve cards.
All right. Fabulous. Alex.
Maniac Stormtide.
Graham, help.
It's
That's not a card.
no. That's not a card. It's 3 archetypes that I'm smashing together in this
Okay.
mono blue deck. So
Uh-huh.
just you wait.
All right.
Okay, so
Tell
your,
me
your
more.
mono blue Your points are going to be like gifts, probably ancestral.
Ooh, okay.
All right, so that's 9
That's
already.
like 9. That's probably just it.
Merchant scroll, maybe you go find both these
merchant
cards.
scroll definitely. Okay,
All
so
right.
merchant scroll, gifts and
Recall.
recall. You have a storm package, killing them with brain freeze,
Uh-huh.
And High Tide, presumably.
and high tide package.
All right.
You kill them either with stroke of genius or blue sun zenith.
Okay.
You have what is it?
Oh God, I've just worked out the third part of this combo.
Laboratory Maniac.
Lab Maniac, Cephalid
Illusionist.
Illusionist, Shuko that you find using Trinket Mage.
All right, so
Because your Trinket Mage can get Shuko or Candelabra.
So hold on for a second.
love it.
I need you to go back a step. I don't know the. All right, what is a Cephalid Illusionist? How does this combo
Illusionist
work?
it's 1 and a blue for
Okay.
a 1/1. Whenever it becomes the target of a spell or ability, you mill yourself 3.
Okay,
And then it has some third ability that who cares what it does.
sure.
Shuko is a 1 mana equipment.
Oh, right, yeah.
That gives a creature +1/+0, and it equips for free.
Coops are free. I see what
So
you're doing
you
there.
target it with Shuko as many times as you want, mill your whole library with Lab Maniac in play, and then you win
By drawing a card somehow.
by drawing a card.
You're playing mono blue. You can draw cards somehow.
All right.
You just
So
That's what the Ponder and the Brainstormer
Oh,
are
you
for.
can even brain freeze yourself.
yes.
Alex, that's so
If
spicy.
they have like like some sort of way of giving themselves shroud or like blocking your spells, yeah, you brain freeze yourself,
Perfect.
or you stroke of genius yourself.
I'm just watching Alex like mills himself. He's like, idiot.
Just like
They're like, ley line of sanctity. You're like,
you're just like stroke of genius for 200. Target myself. You're like,
This is a dangerous episode to drink water. I've
Yeah.
almost died twice.
does Quicken work on creatures?
no.
No, it's instants and sorceries.
It's just sorceries.
It's strictly just sorceries, I
That's a
guess.
shame.
There's a green card that's like Quicken for creatures.
Does the timing work?
There's
Scouts,
two.
Scouts War or Scouts
That's
something,
warning, that's white.
and then
And-
there's also
and there's
Savage,
Savage
summoning,
Summoning.
which gives it a +1/+1 counter. Can't get shocked.
Can't be countered.
That's also good. All right, that's all you got. We can't talk you into making this deck 5-color or something.
I could probably do that.
All right, perfect. Jared, what do you got for me?
I got a Jer Classic, Seinfeld. The mono blue deck about nothing. So you're playing roughly 37 counter spells, some draw spells. If a one mana 1/1 resolves, you've probably lost the game.
How do you beat creature lands in this deck?
Yeah, they play like a Mishra's Factory.
Maze of Ith. And you're playing Wasteland. Field of Ruin's a great ad for this deck.
Ooh, that's a good one.
Yeah, creature lands are devastating.
You're like, I can't counter that.
Are
No,
you gonna play Gargoyle Castle?
no, you have to sack a land. We're not in the business of
That's too
going down
expensive.
lands.
What about Soldevi Excavation?
What about
Well,
that?
you're mana neutral on that card. Soldevi Excavation is maybe the best card in this deck.
What does that one do really quick?
It's a land. When it enters the battlefield, you have to sacrifice an untapped. Is it island?
Yeah.
It has to be an island. It adds 1 colorless and 1 blue to your mana pool, so you're not down mana. And it has an activated ability: 1 and tap it to scry 1. It's the best card in the deck.
That card is kind of nutty.
That's pretty cool.
It hurts if you get wastelanded though, but
Well,
whatever.
Yes.
You have stifles for those. You have disallow, nimble obstructionist.
Trick bind, squelch.
Okay.
No,
okay.
You're not that deep.
we're not that deep, but we're definitely playing squelch, nimble obstructionist, disallow. You got what's the one that exiles all activated abilities and spells
Summary
from
dismissal.
Summary dismissal.
You're not playing
My-
Summary Dismissal.
Oh yeah, you got to
you
counter.
serious?
You got to counter Thrun somehow.
Wait, what?
Yeah, counters Thrun.
Exile all of their spells and counter all abilities.
This
Exile
also-
Thrun on the stack.
This also gets Eldrazi and their triggers on the stack.
Yeah, someone hard casted Emrakul ain't no problem.
Respond to
Got
trigger.
him. No turn, no 15/15. 4 mana.
Into the Shadow Zone.
I mean, and also this is the deck that you're playing. You're playing Mind Break Trap to cast for 4 to counter Thrun as well.
Oh, yeah,
right?
yeah.
Same plan.
Yeah.
What?
We need outs. Thrun's real good. Loxodon Smiter, also often in the same deck as Thrun. Also
Yeah.
problematic.
Can't beat it.
Fair enough. All right. Well, great round, everyone. Everyone's deck was too good. 1 point to each of you.
Hooray!
Jerry, you get another 0.75 of a point. And Alex, you get a 0.25 of a point.
Oh, yeah.
Serge, I'll come up with some weird fraction for you next
Still
time.
winning.
So, Jer, give me a number that's not 2 or 7 between 1 and 15.
11.
11.
And Alex is in the hot seat?
Yes.
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I see.
Did you not number your lists?
No, I did not. Correct. So the cards for this one are Brimaz, King of Oreskos, Aven Mind Sensor,
Yeah.
and Thalia, Heretic Cathar. So Brimaz, King of the Oreskos, is a white legendary creature cat soldier. Also, he's ripped. And it's a 3/4 with vigilance that says whenever Brimaz, King of Oreskos attacks, put a 1/1 cat soldier creature token with vigilance onto the battlefield attacking. And whenever Brimaz blocks, it does the same thing. It puts a 1/1 cat soldier creature token with vigilance in blocking. Aven Mind Sensor is 2 and a white for a flash flying 2/1 bird wizard that says if an opponent would search a library, that player searches the top 4 cards of that library instead. Worth noting that this gets people surgical extractions. In case you were wondering, they can't surgically extract you if you have Aven Mind
Yeah,
Sensor.
it's if you
in
would
play.
search a library,
correct.
not their own library. Yeah, I've had somebody bribery me and Aven Mind Censored in response. They could only search the top 4 cards of my library for a creature.
I've also done that.
Yeah.
And then Thalia, Heretic Cathar is the 3-mana Thalia. It's the newer one.
Yeah.
So this is a 2 and a white human soldier creature with first strike. It's a 3/2, and it says creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped.
So I want to add something to this before Alex goes first. I actually think I'm at the biggest disadvantage this round. Because these are like, I think these are fairly linear decks. And
Getting
I got a
the
feeling-
woollying in now.
I feel like I'm going to get, people are going to, I have to start going really weird right off the bat because I think I know what the first 2 people are going to take.
Maybe.
Getting the woolly.
Alex, you're up.
Boros Hatebears.
Ooh, okay.
So I think I might be stealing some of this from an idea that was going around in our Facebook group, but you add to this some more Thalias, stuff like, what's the other 2/1 for 1 and a white that makes your opponent's creatures enter tapped?
Imposing
Sovereign. You get Harsh Mentor in here, you get Ferocidon.
Band
Rampaging
card,
Ferocidon,
fair
yeah.
enough.
Yeah, you get like the Blood Moons in here. There's
Are we recruitering for Magus of the Moon?
probably
You got double recruiters.
You actually get
in
both
these
recruiters.
colors? Yeah, it's pretty
You can
spicy.
play Slapcaster Mage in this deck. Maybe even Grim Lavamancer. It's a little harsh on red, but it's so good that maybe you just run that. And you just like have these great threats that brick your opponent, and you crack in and they die.
Sweet. All
Solid
right.
plan.
Jerry, you're up.
I'm going with my old standby, green-white mid-range.
Yep.
Got him. You're just playing mana dorks and you're trying to accelerate to 3 and 4 drops as fast as possible. You're playing all the value green-white creatures like Lockstone Smiter, Thrun, Knight of the Reliquary, Voice of Resurgence. You're really good against artifact-based decks because you have so many things that destroy artifacts. You can play Manglehorn, Kasali Pride Mage, Thrashing Bronodon,
Oh yeah.
Reclamation Sage.
You're like pure kryptonite for Academy.
Yeah. You have a fast clock and you're just blowing up the things that matter.
And you're Brontodoning them straight into the dirt.
At the top of the curve, you have a couple 5-drops in Armageddons. So you're playing Ravages of War Armageddon because you have Moxes and Mana Dorks, which usually leave you in a advantageous position post Destroy All Lands.
Woof.
All right. Oh, that sounds like a fully fleshed out deck. Serge.
What you got?
So there are easy ones here, and I don't think they're the right way to go. You could go White Weenie,
Yeah.
and this would be the top end of your curve, but that's not fun.
Yeah.
You could go White-Black Hate Bears,
Right.
which is a little too close to Alex. I didn't want to go there.
Sure.
I wanted to go Mardu Prison mid-range, but I also feel that that's too close to these guys. Not quite.
I would give that one to you if you want.
All right. Mardu Prison mid-range. So the reason why we are picking these 3 creatures in it, we're actually very limited in our creature suite. We're only playing very high impact creatures that either disrupt your opponent or leave extra bodies behind. So what Brimaz can do is you can actually play through your pyroclasms or your smokestack effects, because it's continuously going to leave a token behind to get you ahead further and further. You can play other token producing effects like Bitter Blossom.
Yeah.
As these are ways that are continuously starting to choke up the board and deny them resources. And then every time they try and replay an effect, it comes into play tapped, or they can't search their effects. So everything you're doing is trying to squeeze the resources out of them while your high impact threats are chipping away at their life total.
I get it. Like, you get to play Zealous Persecution in this deck?
I don't think you'd play Zealous Persecution.
Really?
No, you're playing...
Doesn't do enough.
Yeah, you're playing...
You want to hit them really way harder.
You might also be playing something like Trinisphere again, or maybe the cheaper tax effects,
so weird.
like the 2-mana artifacts that just slowly start choking stuff out. You're playing Cataclysm in this list? Just destroy everything.
That is pretty dank.
And a bunch of Planeswalkers, because Planeswalkers and Smokestacks are best friends.
Yes.
Fair enough.
Just blow up everything except your Planeswalkers.
Yeah.
All right. Well, Serge, I was not expecting much from you, and I got me more than
Wow.
I expected. So you get the point. Congratulations. All right. So
Bear,
it's
bear, bear.
I don't know, like 1.75
Yeah.
to 1.25 to 2 or something.
I have
Three.
three, yeah.
Holy crap!
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Crushing
I
it.
got to make this closer. Graham, pick a number between 1 and 15.
I'm going to pick 1 because that's what I had prepared.
Oh,
Ooh.
perfect.
Bold move.
This should be an interesting one.
no.
This is the first one I came up with before my tastes were more refined. Oath of Druids,
Oh, no.
yeah. Oh, and Jer's first.
Sorcerer's Spyglass.
Wait, what?
Okay, I thought this might be the one card you don't know. And Moment's Peace.
What?
So we'll start from the back so that you know what the cards are, so you can prepare. Moment's Peace is 1 and a green for a fog. Oh, that's Sorcerer's Spyglass.
Oh, is it
I know.
still?
Yeah.
There we go.
The 1 and a green for basically a fog. It says prevent all combat damage.
Jumping around.
Prevent all
okay.
combat damage that
Okay.
would be dealt this turn, and has flashback for 2 and a green. So this is just double fog. Jared and I often refer to this card as Time Stretch.
Green time stretch.
It's pretty good. Sorcerer's Spyglass is a 2-mana artifact that says, as Sorcerer's Spyglass enters the battlefield, look at any opponent's hand, then choose any card name, and then it's got the Pithing Needle effect. Activated abilities of sources with the chosen name can't be activated unless they're mana abilities. Then the last card, Oath of Druids. Obviously, the three of you know, but maybe our viewers at home won't. So Oath of Druids is 1 and a green for an enchantment that says, at the beginning of each player's upkeep, that player chooses target player who controls more creatures than he or she does, and is his or hers opponent. The first player may reveal cards from the top of his or her library until he or she reveals a creature card. If he or she does, that player puts that card onto the battlefield and all other cards revealed this way into his or her graveyard.
This is one of those cards that you don't read what it does to know what it does.
Yeah, you just kind of know what Oath does.
It's like,
Yeah.
what does Sylvan Library do? Like, look, don't read the card.
Here's what it does.
I still don't totally know what Oath of Druids does.
Jer?
So you play it, and your deck construction is very limited. You only play a few high impact creatures. In my deck, we're playing 4-color Bomber Oath. So you're playing no red, and you're playing Emrakul, Iona, Dragonlord Jamoka, and the best one of all, Auriok Salvagers.
I like that. In the suite of high, powerful, legendary creatures, the number one is the Auriok Salvagers.
Yeah,
What is the
so-
Salvager?
So the Salvager is a 3 and a white for a 2/4. It has an activated ability, 1 and a white. Return target artifact card from your graveyard to your hand as long as that artifact card costs 1 or less.
But what can you bring back?
You bring back either Lion's Eye Diamond or Black Lotus. And then that creates infinite mana, and then you can win with a Spell Bomb. And so the reason this card is really good in Oath is because at the beginning, Oath basically lets you get a mill plus a free creature in play. And so there's a reasonable chance of milling the combo and just putting Auriok Salvagers into play. So there's a reasonable chance you just set up your win for 1 and a green mana, which is really, really good. The reason you play the other creatures are because it is a 2/4 and it dies to all kinds of removal, so it's not super, super reliable. That's one of the reasons you play Dragonlord Jamoka, is because if you hit Dragonlord Jamoka, it stops your opponent's casting spells on your turn. So then if you concurrently Oath into Auriok Salvagers after Jamoka, then the win's there and your opponents can't interact with you.
So high level, how does Oath actually work?
So at the beginning of any player's upkeep, as long as your opponent has more creatures than you, you mill card. You don't have to if you don't want to.
Yeah.
You mill cards from the top of your deck until you hit a creature. You put the creature into play. The rest of the cards into the graveyard.
No, that's symmetrical, right? So if you have a creature and your opponent doesn't?
Exactly. Yeah. Your opponent can do it as well.
Oath of Druids.
Oath of Druids. Yeah.
Yeah, just like how does it actually work is kind of complicated.
Yeah.
So I got a curveball too. You've only included one of the 2 cards that Liam said. How do the other cards fit in your deck?
Yeah. So the reason Moments Peace is great in this deck is because you're playing out almost like a control deck, and so being able to buy time with Moments Peace to set up a Wrath or to protect your planeswalkers is really, really great. It's also a great utility card because quite often the turn it takes you like a whole turn to set up Oath to like tutor for it and play it. So you're often pretty far behind on board and just taking a lot of damage. So the ability to just like mill a free spell that buys you a turn is huge. That's why the flashback on Moments Peace is huge. This deck is also notoriously weak to Graveyard Hate and Planeswalkers. So that's where Sorcerer's Spyglass comes in. It's just a really great utility card. Like I played all 3 of these cards in my last Oath list. So.
Yeah. All right.
Serge, what do you got?
I have a classic archetype as well that I've played to probably more success than Jared. That's not true. It's 4-color, no Enchantress. Oh! So it's 4-color, no red, and your Oath of Druid deck, you only have 2 targets. One is Academy Rector, which is a 4-mana 1/2 creature that you can, if it goes into your graveyard from play, you can get any enchantment in your deck and put it directly into play. And the other card you're playing is Eternal Witness. And what you're really hoping to hit with Eternal Witness is either Replenish, because as Jared's mentioned, you're dumping all of these cards into your graveyard, and Replenish is a 4-mana sorcery that says return all enchantments from your graveyard to the battlefield, not even to your hand, just directly into play, or Starfield of Nyx.
Same thing?
It is, but it's a permanent that does similar stuff.
Slower too.
Yeah, but it's another way just to start rebuilding your board after stuff gets there. And this deck doesn't win so much as it doesn't lose. So you're playing a lot of fog effects, you're playing a lot of protection effects, you're playing moats, you're playing fogs, you're playing Leyline of Sanctity, and you're really
No good against Alex's blue deck.
Yeah, you're trying real hard to do powerful nothing. So the Spyglass will again help protect you, dodge a threat.
Huh.
Alex.
Simic Turbofog. You play the spells that ramp. So none of the mana dorks, none of the walls. You have access to a bunch of fog effects or fog-like effects.
Okay.
Like in this deck, Cryptic Command is a fog.
Nice. Okay.
It counts.
Yeah.
It counts.
Yeah.
You're playing like Aetherize.
Yeah, I mean, actually, maybe your one threat is like Tidespout Tyrant.
What about the frog that fogs?
What do you oath
Frog
it into?
fog.
Spore Frog? Yeah. Are we Genesis Spore
That's what I
Frogging?
said. Wait, what?
Genesis Spore Frog?
I have no idea what that is.
All right, so Genesis is a 5-mana 4/4 that mostly only does things from the graveyard. It has a triggered ability in your upkeep. If it's in your graveyard, you can pay 2 and a green if you do
I don't see this guy anymore.
return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. And Spore Frog is 1 green, 1/1, sacrifice Spore Frog, prevent all combat damage that would be dealt to you this turn.
Turbo Frog Fog.
So if you have Genesis in your graveyard and Spore Frog anywhere accessible, every turn is just 4-mana fog.
Holy
repeatable.
And you can oath into both these things.
What were you oathing into?
Oh, he said maybe Tidespout
come
Tyrant,
here.
but now
I threw him a curveball.
What's the dankest thing you could hit off of Blue Gear Hulk?
Torrential Gear Hulk, you mean?
Or say a Torrential Gear Hulk.
I mean, normally it's
Dig
dig
through
through
time.
Fog.
Yeah.
You're gonna fog on your turn.
No, it's in it. Gearhulk has flash. You can
No,
fog
no,
on
but
it.
not if you oath into
Not
it.
if you oath
Yeah, you
into
can't
it.
oath into this. Yeah, I said Tidespout Tyrant earlier, which is like
that's a pretty hot
It's
one.
kind of cool. That's what is it, like 8 mana or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 5 blue for a 5/5 with flying, and whenever you play a spell, return target permanent to its owner's hand. So like you can fog and bounce, or just like start attritioning their board with all your cantrips.
I love it.
What if you just like Searing Winded your opponents with Torrential Gear Hulk?
What the heck's Syrian one?
Searing Wind's
9 in a red.
9 in a red for an instant that says deal 10 damage to target creature or player. just do it twice.
8 and a red, my bad.
Pretty
8,
cool.
it's a 9. Yeah. You can pitch it to Blazing Shoal to infect kill people, and you can Cunning Wish for it. Don't ask why I know this. It's not important.
Okay, what is the most potent instant you could hit with Gear Hulk?
This.
Is that it?
Well, I mean, in terms of like getting closest to
Well, what are
winning
you
the
trying to
game.
do?
Yeah.
Well, to kill them.
I mean, this does 10 damage. There's like, it's actually they very carefully constructed that card. I don't think there's anything, there's no like instant win
Yeah,
combo.
the big sorceries are the ones you want to hit to do really broken stuff, like the ones that have suspend and they're like sacrifice all your permanents or whatever.
Graham's getting into the game.
Oh,
Hit it,
you
Sugu
get-
second.
So you Searing
Okay.
Wind them, then you hit Itsugu second right
Hang
them.
on,
It's
sorry,
perfect.
Sorry. Okay, so
Graham, I love it already.
So you're on Grixis. You want to Entomb, Searing Wind, and then cast Blue Gear Hulk.
There you go.
All right. Well, point goes to Graham that round. Well done.
Just for calling out the
Great
hits
deck for
second right.
his green-red Hidetsugu second. Well, probably blue in the deck as well for Torrential Gear
So we
Hulk.
got time for one, maybe two.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
Liam, you pick this time. You're
Yeah,
the only one who
I'm
pick.
going to, because I've been trolling Graham by jumping around the list. I guess I won't this time. All right. This is number 3, Graham. So this one's pretty memorable. People who have played a lot of Magic will be familiar with this particular set of cards.
Are they all black?
Hold on.
No.
Dark Ritual, Necropotence. No, it's not.
That's what
not-
I thought it
it's
was.
not
too.
that one.
Expector. Damn it. Okay.
Not that long, actually, in terms of Magic history, but like, the last 5 years. So the cards here are Pestermite, Deceiver Exarch, and Splinter Twin.
I'm
This is
first.
partially
Near and dear to Liam's heart.
Yeah, partially in honor of the most recent butchering of the modern ban list that happened. Yeah, so these cards, Pestermite is a 2 and a blue fairy rogue with flash and flying. It's a 2/1. It says when Pestermite enters the battlefield, you may tap or untap target permanent. Deceiver Exarch is a 2 and a blue cleric. I told you this deck has support. With flash. That when it enters the battlefield, you can untap target permanent you control or tap target permanent an opponent controls, and it's a 1/4. And then lastly, Splinter Twin, this sort of like most important card here, is 2 and 2 red for an enchantment. It's an aura that says enchanted creature has tap, put a token that's a copy of this creature onto the battlefield. That token has haste, exile at the beginning of the next end step. So for those of you not keeping track at home, Pestermite or Deceiver Exarch plus Splinter Twin
Combo.
is infinite. You can play it in literally any shell, whatever you want. We'll talk about that some other time. I've done some silly things. Serge.
So I've been watching a lot of League of Legends, like the NALCS.
Okay.
And one of the things they have in the beginning is a draft stage.
Right.
Where you can take bands and like take picks from each other and stuff like that.
Right.
So I'm going to take a pick against Jer.
Right.
I'm going to take his pick because I know what he wants to do.
Right.
And I'm going to say Grixis Time Vault.
Ooh.
The deck that these 3 cards are going into is a Grixis Time Vault deck. So you are playing, your points are Time Vault and Demonic Tutor. Can I support that point spread anymore, Jer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
you
yeah.
can.
You just
That's 10.
recently.
You're good. You're good.
And what we're doing is we don't even care about the combo, like the Kiki Splinter Twin combo is nice and all, but really what we want is we want that untap ability attached to all those creatures to untap your Time Vault so you can go over and over. And you can kind of just oops into winning with the Kiki or the Splinter Twin combo, but that's plan B. Plan A is to take in infinite turns. So in addition to those cards, you're also playing a bunch of the Planeswalkers. So you're playing the blue Tezzeret to find the card and untap your artifacts. You're playing the blue-red Ralzeric Planeswalker, that untap stuff. You get to play all these sweet value cards. The mono-blue Tezzeret, not the blue-black Tezzeret. And this deck is just super spicy, and you play it in somewhat of like a more of a control-y shell. So you've got counter spells, you've got draw spells, you've got a little bit of removal, you've got these great combat tricks you can play by tapping your opponent's creatures to buy turns, and then you can just go infinite. You can go infinite turns or infinite with little bodies.
Perfect. I love it. Alex.
5 color A plus B.
I see.
So-
5 color ABCs is what you're telling
5
me.
color ABC. So this is going to
Also
play
known as Sesame Street.
Sesame Street. This is going to play. This deck is just going to jam in every single A plus B I win the game combo. So you've got Kiki Jiki goes in here to go with the Splinter Twin combo. You want to get in Sahili Rai and Felidar Guardian and also
Copycat combo, like it?
yeah. What was the The angel.
Restoration
Resto Angel is part of that combo as well.
Are you playing Spike Feeder and Archangel of Thune?
Yup. Spike Feeder, Archangel of Thune, Grindstone,
Painter
Servant. You get Rest in Peace Helm.
And Leyline?
You're going all the
and
way.
Leyline.
How's your
just
mana?
everything. Your mana is perfect because you can play all the dirtiest, nastiest, dankest rainbow lands.
What are your points?
Holy
All
crap.
tutors.
Oh, tutors.
It's just like demonic, vampiric,
Imperial
like
Seal.
Imperial Seal.
All right, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Are we demonic consulting in this deck?
You can play
Sure.
Labman. You can play Labman and
Yeah, you can
Demonic
play.
Console.
Actually, you can play Lab. Oh, maybe we want to play Lab
Tainted
Maniac Tainted Pact.
It works with both.
Exactly. Yeah. No, you get Tainted Pact in
I mean,
here.
we're 5 color. There's no way we're playing
Oh, yeah.
doubles
Right.
of a
Well,
card.
Demonic Consultation's a free roll. To
Yeah.
explain this card, this is the scariest tutor in
Yeah.
Highlander. It's 1 black for an instant. Name a card. Exile the top 6 cards of your library. Then start revealing cards till you hit the one you named, and then put that card into your hand and exile the rest.
So what's the combo with this?
Well, the combo is you name a card that you don't have in your deck and you wipe out your library.
So I love it. So
when you
if
have Laboratory Maniac.
yeah,
in
so if
play.
you have Laboratory Maniac in play, you can exile your whole deck. So this is one of my favorite questions in Magic. If you're playing Demonic Consultation Laboratory Maniac,
Yep.
what is the card you name that isn't in your deck?
Feldegriff.
Feldegriff. All
Every
right.
time.
Sarpadian Empires Volume 4.
A Johnny Mentor of Heroes.
Hedron Crab.
Yeah.
That one might be in your deck. You might
No.
just find it by accident.
Like,
yeah,
oh my
like-
god, I accidentally slipped a crab in my deck.
I think Demonic Consultation's a free roll. Maybe this is even like a gamble deck.
Like literally
no-
the card
literally
gamble.
the
No
card-
gamble,
love
no
it.
future.
I love
That's
it. Yeah, you cast Demonic Consultation, you're like, all right, you're sweating. There's just like, you like flip the first one, you're like, all right, I'm still in it. I've watched a number of people lose because the card they're looking for in a singleton format, obviously if you hit one of the cards in the top 6, you just lose on the spot.
Yeah, you're dead.
There's also a secondary lose case where, like, if the
card's
card's
the
also
bottom.
in the bottom 6-ish, you also probably just lose.
I played a game when I was first playing Highlander a couple of years ago, where I was playing a very experienced player, someone who was in the top 8 this year, who's like really good, and like first time I was playing him, I was really nervous. And we're playing, and he casts Demonic Consultation and names a card, and it's not in the top 6, and I'm like, oh, okay, I'm probably dead. And he's flipping, and sure enough, it was the last card in his deck. So he put it in his hand and then died on his draw step.
It's a shame that you have to be playing all these other artifacts because otherwise you could jam Madcap Experiment into this deck.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you're already gambling.
No, that's too dank.
Okay.
But yeah, you just play all the A and Bs and then a bunch of tutors, and I don't know how you defend yourself. I guess you play a remand.
Go fast.
A remand.
A remand.
That's enough.
One solitary
Got it.
round.
It's like, ha! I'm gonna die.
All right, Jer, what do you got?
Since Serge stole mine, I'll pay homage to Liam, and my deck's going to be 5-color Flash. So you're in this deck, you're playing almost nothing at sorcery speed. You're playing exactly Splinter Twin and Ponder and Preordain, and that is it. Every other card in the deck is either an instant or has Flash. You're playing some spicy ones.
We're not playing that one.
We're playing
not
Too
some
many
the card
points.
Flash.
It's actually playing Flash.
Yeah, no, the finishers in the deck are cards like Samet the Tested. That one's 3 red,
Does she
green.
have Flash?
Oh, she does.
Sure does.
So
3
the no Flash. Go ahead.
Voice of Dissent. Sorry, Samet Voice of
Samet the
Dissent.
Tested is the Planeswalker,
Planeswalker.
which
Yeah.
does not, they have not yet made a Planeswalker with Flash.
Cool. That's exciting.
Goodness.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
3 red, green. It has a million keywords. It has Flash, Double Strike, Vigilance, and Haste. It has a static ability. Other creatures you control have Haste. White and tap it to untap another target creature, and it is a 3/4. So it's 3/4 Double Striker, Vigilance, Haste. Also has Flash.
That's really cool.
Another really big finisher in this deck is Surak Dragonclaw. It's
Yeah, boy.
2 and Teamer, so green, red, blue. It has Flash, of course. It can't be countered. Creature spells you control can't be countered. Other creatures you control have trample, and it's a 6/6.
What are you playing black and white for?
Removal spells, mostly. Since Flash creatures aren't known for being great defensively, you have to have some way to not die to aggro. So you're playing like Swords, Path. White has some great Flash creatures. It has Archangel Avacyn. Aven Mind Sensor,
yeah. Oh,
Restoration
yeah.
Angel,
I was almost gonna suggest, was it Sulfur
Alms
Elemental?
Collector.
But that like bricks some of your guys.
Yeah, definitely.
Alms Collector, holy moly!
I don't play enough Archangel Avacyn. That card's
That
real
card
good.
is really
Yep.
great.
Goodbye, Baneslayer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Alms Collector is
Collector.
also very
Ooh.
good.
This card is great.
Have you ever Alms Collected or Brainstorm?
Yes.
Not yet. I've lived the dream of a Notion Thief Brainstorm, but I have yet to Alms Collector
Coming
Brainstorm.
soon to Modern near you.
Yeah.
Really?
Well, Notion
Notion-
Thief probably.
Notion
yeah,
Thief's a human.
for that 5-color human stack. Yeah. Hopefully.
Yeah. Maybe
right.
I should play that in my
And black gives you Notion Thief, so you can
Yeah,
do
Notion
it.
Thief.
Do it in Highlander.
All right.
All right. Great. Well, are we gonna do? Yeah. Do you think you want to call it there?
I think we're a little
All
tight
right.
for the last one.
I'll assign some points then. So,
All
Alex, you're gonna get 2.75 points. Serge, you're gonna get 1 point. Jerry, you're gonna get 2.25 points. Graham, you get 3 points. Everyone has 4 by my
Wow.
count.
Everybody wins.
Everybody wins.
The power of friendship.
Yeah, the real victory was the friends we made along the way and these decks. So just quickly in closing for this segment, part of the reason I wanted to do this and I wanted to have an episode where we just kind of threw a bunch of general deck ideas at you, the audience, is we get a lot of questions about like, oh, I want to build a deck, or how do you build a deck, and we wanted to give you a bunch of starting off points. So now if you're remotely attracted to any of those ideas or any of those kinds of cards, you have a bunch of different directions you can go in. And as far as getting more specific than this, that's something that we think you can do on your own. We think you can kind of look, but we wanted to give you a bunch of jumping off points to hopefully give you something that leapt out and kind of grabbed you, like Alex's bear tokens. Yeah. So with that, my job as host is over. I'm going to throw back to Serge for our regularly scheduled programming. You're no longer being hijacked by the
Whatever, that
Liam
was
show.
sweet.
Yeah, it was fun.
All right, let's move to our classic closing segment, Powerful Magic. And up today is me. And my Powerful Magic is going to sound an awful lot like a best card you're not playing. I want to talk today about a little something we call Blind Obedience. So Blind Obedience is a 2-mana white enchantment from Theros? Gatecrash. It is a tax effect. Artifacts and creatures your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. And it has this handy little ability on it called Extort. Whenever you cast a spell, you may play white-black hybrid. If you do, each opponent loses 1 life, and you gain that much life. So you're probably not playing this in a Death and Taxes list. I played this in Enchantress, and I absolutely loved this card. At first I thought, like, this will be kind of cute. It's a cheap enchantment. I can cantrip it off at an Enchantress, so let's see how it goes. But I had 2 cases that I won with it that made me so happy. The first is I was playing against a control deck, and they didn't. And the fun part about Extort, it's whenever you cast a spell, not when it resolves. I killed them with 20 Extorts.
What?
Just throughout the whole thing, because they weren't doing anything. Like against Seinfeld, if he's countered his spell every
this
time.
card's stone unbeatable in Seinfeld.
Yeah, you resolve this, and you're just like, Wild Growth. And they're like, do I counter the Wild Growth? I'm like, lose a life. And they're like, oh, that kind of sucks. And you play so many, you just make a bunch of mana, and you just play a bunch of dirtle spells that if they're not doing anything and they're not interacting with you, this card will actually kill them. And I killed Nelson, I'll be honest, with the Extort off it. And at first, you know, you're like, it's done 4 or 5 damage. You're like, oh, wouldn't it be funny if this card killed you? And at the end, you're just sweating. You're just like, I'm really going to die to Blind Obedience, aren't I?
Serge, this card might be like the most archetypally you card you've talked about yet.
Yeah.
It's just like, boy, does it like vaguely interferes with what your opponent's trying to do.
Yeah.
And sort of kill them.
And sort of kills them, but in like the most
No,
non-committal, slowest way possible.
Yeah.
Death by 20 cuts.
So it gets better.
Oh, God.
The reason it gets better is another time I was experimenting with a big version of a list that was playing Palancron. And an issue with Palancron is you can make infinite mana, which is easy to do in Enchantress, because you just untap your Sarah Sanctum. Well, you know what's great is if you don't have anything to do with that infinite mana, you infinitely cast Palancron and you extort them with Blind Obedience each time. So it's just like cast Palancron 20 times, extort you 20 times, win on the spot. So that has just a sort of like a... But it gets better. The most stupid way I have ever won a game of Magic with this, and
boy.
it required a bit of setup. So I had Omniscience in play.
Okay.
I had Caracas in play.
Great.
I had Blind Obedience in play. And I cast Emrakul.
Right.
So 15-mana Emrakul, take another turn,
No.
extort, return it to your hand with Caracas, pass the turn, then repeat that loop. Don't even attack with the Emrakul.
Was there some reason you couldn't attack with the Emrakul?
I can't even remember. All I know is just like, oh man, you know,
Did you
it'd be way
just
cooler.
swag on them?
Just kill them with the extort, return Emrakul to your hand, recast it for free.
We'll pretend there was an ensnaring bridge on the other side of
Sure,
the field.
some reason I couldn't attack. It could have been something like that. I don't think I would have BM'd somebody that hard. Graham's looking confused.
Mazavith hits Emrakul, doesn't it?
It does, but the Annihilator
Annihilator.
trigger would still go on the stack. So if you take an infinite turns, you'll eventually reduce their board to nothing. So I don't know. I was thinking about Enchantress. I was thinking about Powerful Magic Stories. I was thinking about this like dirtly little card that doesn't do too much, and I was like, oh, but I've dirtled some people out, and I need to share these dirtle stories.
Interesting.
Dirtle them out might be the Surge motto.
Yeah, interestingly, this card keeps you from dying to Kiki combo.
Correct.
Well, it slows it down.
No, it stops it. All the copies enter tapped.
Yeah, but the copies stay until the beginning of the next end step. So what they can do is just create 1,000,000 copies on your end step, then untap and kill you with the 1,000,000 copies.
But it definitely gives you more time.
Huh.
Yeah. That's the same way that you could actually go infinite with Felidar Guardian and Splinter Twin. It doesn't normally work, but you can flicker the Splinter Twin, and you can make infinite cats on their end step and then attack them with the cats on your turn. Yeah.
Powerful magic.
These are the kind of things you have to think about when you're literally trying to infinite people as much as possible.
Yeah, and people are interacting with
I
your
had
infinite.
no idea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I had to, when I was doing this list, I was like, these are so unfair. Just like so many of the list of 3 cards were like 3 combo cards.
Yeah.
So I gotta put some fair cards in here.
Yeah, I like that. Like the mid-range selection was great. I don't know. Anyways, Liam, thank you so much for putting that list together
Yeah,
today.
that was awesome.
Those of you watching at home, I hope you really enjoyed that. If you did, be sure to let us know down in the comments. If you have ideas, if you have your own card combinations, if you want to see more segments like that. We had a bunch of fun doing it, so hopefully you had a bunch of fun watching it. And as Liam said, hopefully it's a good starting point for brewing inspiration. Again, we have our bias as brewers, and today we got to flex our brewing muscles a bit. And I don't think we had to stretch too much. I think all the decks we suggested today are decks that we've played or seen other people play.
I don't know that Alex has played all the decks he talked about.
Except for maybe Alex, who went full creativity.
Alex was flexing.
Yeah. So anyways, a reminder that this podcast is brought to you by you with your support over at the Patreon, over at LoadingReadyRun, or patreon.com/LoadingReadyRun, pardon me. As always, thank you so much. We don't have any deck lists to put down in the comments below, but we appreciate you watching, and we'll see you next time.